What's up, everybody? Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this episode here. It is Rick Kamla. It is Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. This is the Fantasy NBA today, and we have reached the end of the line, Doc. This is our final regular season episode. No need for Kleenex and moist eyes because we will be keeping the fantasy bit going even during the off season. But this is our last regular season show. You and Aaron Brewski will have a show this afternoon, and that will wrap up our regular season coverage overall at Sports Ethos Fantasy Basketball. But Doc, what a year, man. Thanks to Aaron Brewski. Thanks to Andre Lemouche for bringing me in. Thanks to you for helping to bring me in. I've had a great year. I'm having a blast, man.
It's fun, dude. I love it. It's always funny, man. The season starts and it's like, oh man, we got 82 games. It's going to be a grind, and then the next thing you know, there's 20 games left, and then it's over. So it flies by, but it's fun, man. And we had Ty Jerome as the pickup of the day yesterday, and he came through. We're leaving on a high note, I feel like.
Indeed we are. Doc and Brew are going to be up around 12:30 p.m. Eastern time today with the final weekend preview, and I wish you guys luck. There are a ton of moving parts. There are a ton of injury report, hiccups and all kinds of unpredictability. So let's dive in, man. Doc, who is your magic man from Thursday night on a 5-game night in the NBA?
There weren't a lot of guys to choose from. I kind of wanted to just give it to Ty Jerome since he came through when we needed him to. He got me my over in points and played really well. But Minnesota got a big win powered by Anthony Edwards, 44 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, steal and a block, 7 3-pointers. And my favorite part of his line, he hit 13 of 19 shots. Minnesota got a big win. And Anthony Edwards is my magic man.
I'm going to go with Cade Cunningham, Doc. And I mean, I love what Ant-Man did last night, but I'm going to go with Cade Cunningham. We talked a lot about this yesterday. Huge game with the New York Knicks, and Cade Cunningham came through in a big way, man. It was fun to see what Cade Cunningham did. 36 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 block, 1 steal, and 2 threes as well. And Doc, as we talked about, trying to find the right microphone here. There it is. As we talked yesterday, if Detroit loses that game, then you've got a situation where the games over the weekend with Milwaukee are meaningless. But they had to win that Knicks game last night. Now, Doc, with the Bucks beating the Pelicans very predictably and covering, as we both told you yesterday, now you've got a situation where the Knicks and the Pacers are still in it as well for the 3-4 spot. But in terms of Detroit and Milwaukee, it's game on now. They play tonight. They play Sunday. I don't know if Sunday's game is going to matter. It depends on the results of tonight. If Detroit wins tonight, then Milwaukee's going to have to play their guys again on Sunday and try to keep them at number 6, and then they will be number 5. So that's all exciting stuff, Doc. But Cade Cunningham came through, albeit against a shorthanded Knick team. No Hart, no Anunoby, and he rose for 36 points, hitting the point prop over that we gave the people yesterday at 26.5. So Cade Cunningham. By the way, Doc, the jersey might be arriving today. I did, what? When I win big championships, I like to get a jersey or two of the guys that helped me win those chips, right? I got back-to-back chips in the Cam Dynasty. So I got an Evan Mobley jersey and a Cade Cunningham jersey. They're my first 2 draft picks, and they helped me win 2 chips here. So later today, I may be getting a Cade Cunningham and an Evan Mobley jersey. The Mobley jersey is cool, dude. It's the old school 70s Walt Clyde Frazier, with the different colors on the stripes on the arms. You know what I mean? Maybe pull it up. It's really cool. I'll wear it like as we move forward here, but it's not one of the newer jerseys. It's an old school joint. It's like the old Walt Clyde Frazier playing with the Cavaliers jersey. So I'm excited, dude. And Cade Cunningham is my magic man.
World be free.
World be free as well. No doubt about it. Doc, before we move on do you have Julius Randle or Tyrese Halliburton in any of the other segments?
No.
I want to shout them out real quick. Dude, so they're not Magic Men, but I just want to like a little shout out here. Julius Randle, Doc, my guy, not your guy. 31, 10, and 5 last night, 5 triples. Here's the thing, though. It was his first double-double since March 7th. Not good. It was his most points since November 17th. Not good. So he's on a deep Minnesota. I mean, I saw the look on your face right there. So that was an aberration from Julius Randle with the 8-man deep Minnesota Timberwolves. But I wanted to shout him out. And then Tyrese Halliburton was a beast last night. 23, 8, and 10, 3 blocks, 4 steals. I mean, one of the great players in fantasy basketball, Doc, as we know. But I wanted to shout them out. I thought they had Magic Man worthy nights as well.
Yeah, Halliburton's had a weird season again, man. Like there's times when he looks like the best player on the floor, and there's times when he doesn't. But despite a few hiccups along the way, he's had a very good season. He's been fun.
What do you think his overall value is for the year? Where do you think he ranks? Just guess.
15th.
5th.
Wow.
Tyrese Halliburton is 5th. Jokic, SGA, Wemby, Davis, Hallie, then Cat, then Luka, and that is on Basketball Monster, dude.
Well,
good?
I mean, a lot of people took Halliburton at the end of the first round or early second round, and that's where he belongs. I mean, as long as he's healthy and playing, he does monstrous things out there. He flies under the radar too. You don't hear about him a whole lot.
It's because he plays on your Indiana Pacers, Doc. Middle of the country, small market. We know how the talking heads roll. I mean, Halliburton has to have a 50-point game to break through the news cycle with the talking heads, right? He does. They just can't stop talking about the LA Lakers. They just can't stop talking about the Luka trade, the Malone thing, the Jenkins thing, and rightly so. Those are huge stories. Take me into, and obviously, Doc, I'll just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 players that I want to talk about with you in the must-add player section of our show. And I presume you have a lot of them as well. So let's dive in, dude. Let's get to work. I mean, this is silly season on LSD right now, okay? So take me into some of your must-add players. Let's play some tennis here.
All right. Kevin Porter Jr. did it again for the Bucks off the bench. 20 points, 5 boards, 7 assists, 5 steals, and a 3-pointer, man. That is money. That is fantasy money right there. And he didn't start. Ryan Rollins started it, I think. And KPJ came off the bench. I think he only played like 24 minutes. He balled out. He's on a 5-game heater right now. And, we've been debating for about a month now. Would you rather have KPJ or Ryan Rollins? Well, for a week, it was Ryan Rollins. But for me now, I mean, these last 5 games that KPJ has put up, like Doc Rivers has turned him loose. He's not putting him on a yo-yo anymore. He's letting him play. And KPJ, he looks good on the court. Like he passes the eye test and he's just balling. Was he on your list?
He was. I'll just add he's been top 50 over the last 2 weeks. And I'll also add, Doc, he is playing for reputation. He's playing to reclaim his career. All of that, right? This isn't just a player ascending. He's coming out of wreckage, right? All of the personal turmoil. And so he's trying to cleanse reputation, get all that back, get another bag of money from another team. So, like, he's playing for dollars out here, dude. Like, he's really, really bringing it. And, look, the mistakes that happened, happened. And now he's moving forward, dude, in a very positive way. And where would the Bucks be without Kevin Porter Jr.? Oh, by the way, Doc, he has helped them win 6 consecutive games, okay? They're on a 6-game heater, largely charged by Kevin Porter Jr. Go ahead, get back into your list.
Yeah, I have Ty Jerome, who we already talked about, but he is listed as doubtful for Friday already. So I don't think he's going to play tonight. So I can't say that Ty Jerome is a pickup if he's not going to play. If he's just resting on Friday, feel free to fire him up on Sunday. And that's the thing, Rick. I don't know if we said this. Every single team in the NBA plays on Friday. Nobody plays on Saturday, and every single team goes again on Sunday. So these pickups are contingent on who you're gonna drop. So you definitely want somebody who's going to play in both games, unless you're in a roto league and you're just trying to preserve what you have. But Ty Jerome for Sunday, but do not pick him up for Friday. Scottie Pippen, is he on your list? You're muted, Rick.
He is, Doc. 32 minutes last night, 16, 3, and 4 with a steal. I love the 32 minutes off the bench. And I love Izalo's rotation last night. Aldama, I believe, got 30 minutes off the bench. He kind of went with like a 7-man rotation. And your guy, Vince Williams, was a loser in this transaction. He started but played barely at all. And so, like we've been kind of speculating here a little bit with Jalen Wells leaving, who would be the beneficiaries. And I thought we'd get a lot more of the John Morant, Scottie Pippen thing, and that happened last night.
Yeah, and that's another thing. We were talking about Jared Allen starting yesterday, and we were talking about Vince Williams. I thought he was going to start. He did start. But at this time of the year, just because a guy's starting doesn't mean he's gonna get enough minutes to do anything. And we saw it with Jared Allen. He played last night, but he didn't really play. He played 16 minutes. Vince Williams started, but it didn't really matter because he didn't play enough minutes. It was more Aldama and some other guys. Desmond Bane played great. So you got to be careful. Like if you see, oh, thank God my guy is going to start tonight. If they're resting a bunch of studs, but they're going to start one of their main cogs, they may play him 15 minutes and then tell him to take the night off. So you got to be careful there. I mentioned Timmy. My boy Timmy last night, and plays for the Nets. I can't remember his first name off the top of my head. Drew Timmy. I was like, I think Timmy might do something tonight. He had 13 points, 11 boards, 6 assists, and 3 steals in 29 minutes. Drew Timmy, playing for the hopeless Nets, who are running a G League squad out there, is a guy that might go off on Friday and Sunday.
I completely agree, Doc. I completely agree. He's been 10 plus points in 5 of his 7 games with Brooklyn. He's got a couple of double-doubles in there, and he's coming off the bench. But as you said, look at the box score for the Nets last night. The starters barely played. The bench guys, ETN, the dude with the last name that starts with E, that's like the alpha. It's like I don't know how to say his name. But he's getting like minutes and stuff like that. And Timmy's one of those guys. Doc, that was a great point. That usually you want the anchor of a guy starting because it leads to more minutes. Not right now. That is not. It's just not the case anymore. So yeah, I think Timmy's a fantastic pickup right now for these last 2 games.
And then we had a Precious Achua sighting in New York. 18 points, 10 boards, 2 steals, 3 blocks, and a 3-pointer. Like,
that's right.
What a game!
I don't know if he's ever had a better game than that.
What a game for Precious Achua. Keep an eye on the Knicks, man. They rested OG Anunoby, which is why Precious Achua went off last night. They rested Jason Hart. Friday night, it might be Cat and Brunson that get the night off. If Cat's not out there, Precious Achua might go off again. What are you laughing about?
You called him Jason Hart.
Why? Why would I do that? His name's Josh.
It's just hilarious. Like, Jason Hart is the most random, what would you call that? A Freudian slip or something? Like, you meant to say Josh and you said Jason. But Jason Hart was, did Jason Hart ever pop in fantasy ball? He was a backup point guard in the NBA for a long time. I'm not sure he ever made the radar in fantasy basketball. Maybe he did, but I don't remember that hot minute.
Apparently he made the radar of a very small place way back here in the back of my brain. Jason Hart.
That is absolutely awesome.
if Cat sits, Precious Achua might be worth rolling all weekend because yes, the Knicks are in a fight. They are going to try to win these games. They are, get off there. They're one game ahead of the Pacers. So if they lose 2 and the Pacers win 2, the Pacers don't play the Knicks. But if the Pacers win 2 and the Knicks lose 2, do we know who holds the tiebreaker?
Yes, I looked that up, Doc. So here's the scenario. The Pacers are on a 6-game heater right now, and they have tightened it up with the New York Knicks. New York is up 1 game over Indiana for 3rd place. 2 games left for both teams. New York won the head-to-head tiebreaker. They won the season series 2-1. New York tonight is at home against Cleveland, then at Brooklyn on Sunday. Indiana on Friday is at home against Orlando, and I'm not sure Orlando's going to play their dudes, Doc. And then Sunday, Indiana is at Cleveland, and they just played last night, of course, with Indiana winning. So that's the lay of the land right there, Doc. If New York wins tonight against Cleveland, and I presume they will, then they're going to claim the 3rd seed because they have the head-to-head tiebreaker. So even if New York loses and Indiana wins on Sunday to tie it up, New York's going to have the tiebreaker and they'll be in the 3 hole. So tonight we'll find out what happens with that. But for now, both teams have to treat at least tonight's game and play it straight.
So the Magic, you mentioned the Magic. They're in 7th, so they're in the play-in right now. They cannot catch Detroit. So they're Orlando's stuck in the play-in. However, they're 2 games up on the Hawks. So if the Hawks win 2 and the Magic lose 2, then they're tied. And Orlando might go to 8 and Atlanta might go to 7. I don't know how much they care about that. They may still rest their guys and be like, we're in the play-in, we don't care. Let's be healthy when we get there. But I'm guessing Orlando plays their guys on Friday and then rests everybody on Sunday.
Doc, let me check on the head-to-head tiebreaker here real quick between Orlando. Doc, they play again. They play on Sunday. Atlanta and Orlando. So it is predictably Magic 2-1 over Atlanta in the season series, but they play on Sunday. And they're separated. I thought they're separated by 1 game, right, Doc? Orlando has a 1-game lead on Atlanta, right?
2 games. 2 games.
Is it 2 games?
Yep.
All right. So if obviously it can end tonight. If Orlando wins, so let me think about this for a second. If Orlando loses the last 2, including a loss to the Hawks win the last 2, including a win over the Magic, then the head-to-head tiebreaker would be a tie, and then Atlanta and Orlando would be tied, and you'd have to go to conference record and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, they're going to have to play it straight at least for tonight, Doc, and maybe even going into Sunday. That's kind of exciting. I want the guys on the wood, Doc.
Well, I think if Orlando wins tonight, then they can give everybody Sunday off because Atlanta won't be able to catch them because they'll be 2 games up with one to play. So I feel like Orlando's going to try hard tonight, and then Sunday, Paolo and Franz and all the chumps that they play with might get the night off.
Totally agree. Isn't it fun how the standings are coming to a head right now, and then they're impacting fantasy basketball as well in a positive way, like getting guys on the wood here. And I'm not talking about the OKCs, the Clevelands, the teams that are locked in where they're going to be. I'm talking about the teams that have a lot of fighting to do, like Doc. 5 teams in the Western Conference, okay, that are 4 through 8 right now, separated by 1 little game. Denver, the Clippers, the Warriors, the Grizzlies, and the Wolves. Those 5 teams are going to be attacking the 2 games this weekend because they have to. They don't want to be in the play-in tournament. Like two of those 5 teams are going to be in the play-in tournament. And they're going to be really salty and pissed off about that, okay? They're going to be going for it this weekend to get that 5-day rest. We're still in the must-add player section here, guys, and this is going to take a minute. Belly up to the bar. Doc, let's talk about the Pelicans, okay? Let's just spend a minute on the Pels because they were
next on my list.
All right, because they're the land of opportunity right now. By the way, I just looked this up, and of course, Andre Lamouche is all over it. Algorithm Andre, our boy, we love Andre, man.
He's got
the goodies on Jason Hart. Okay, so I was right, all right? And it's weird, like he played a long time ago, and you just kind of vibe it out with this vague memory that we have, right? Especially with all the partying that I've done and all the concerts and stuff. But I was right. His best year was with Charlotte, 9.5 points, 5 assists, 1.3 steals, and 0.5 threes per game. That was his best year, okay? He was a bench player, like I said, played a long time, but that was the hot minute that I was talking about, Doc, and that's why it registered way back here in your brain.
Dude, it's funny because when I said you were laughing, and I said, what? And you go, you said Jason Hart. And I immediately thought to myself, is that even an NBA player? Like, or did I just come up with some random thing about it? I'm happy to see that he was an NBA player. I probably had him on my team in League Freak in 2004. And here we are.
Here we are. Dude, that's 20 years ago. And it just popped out of your brain. That's actually pretty crazy. All right, talk to me about the Pels, dude. Take me into your thoughts about the Quinones, the Canes, the Brooks, the Paytons, the Reeves, the Makovich. Talk to me, dude.
I was sitting there looking at the box score last night. I was like, I almost said Quinones may go off again because he's been getting minutes. And really, it's a free-for-all in New Orleans right now. But I was on Jamal Cain. He had 20 points, 20.7 boards, a steal, and 3 threes. If you picked up Jamal Cain, he came through last night. Quinones, 21 points, 5 boards, 6 assists, a steal, 2 threes. I think he played well in the game before that. He's a guy that could be fun on Friday and Sunday. Antonio Reeves, 16 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, 3 steals, 2 threes. He's fun right now. Makovich, double-double. He had 15 and 10. So I'm sure those guys are sitting on the waiver wire in a bunch of leagues. If you've got dead weight and you want a live body, any of those guys could play well on Friday and Sunday.
Check this out, Doc. This is going to sound radical. Is it so crazy that you drop Donovan Mitchell for Antonio Reeves or Lester Quinones? Is that really that crazy? Do you think that Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, or Evan Mobley will play in either of these last 2 games?
I bet they play in one because like we talked about yesterday, you're like, I like the way Oklahoma City's doing it. They're playing their guys. They're keeping them in rhythm. They're not just taking a week off. They're going to get a week off while the play-in tournament's happening. But these last 2 Cleveland games mean absolutely nothing to anyone. They're not going to be trying to win these games. It doesn't matter. It may matter to coach. And I'm sure that if they don't play all their stars, they're going to try to win. I'm guessing Garland and Mitchell probably play in 1 game. But honestly, I think I'd rather have 2 games of Keon Brooks or Makovich or Reeves or Kane than 1 game of Darius Garland.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And they might sit for both.
Guys, this is going to be really simple. Here's what you do. I can absolutely guarantee you that these Cavaliers do not play on Sunday. I can absolutely guarantee you they will not play on Sunday. Friday is a maybe, okay? It's at the Knicks. Maybe they want to take another bite out of the Knicks before the playoffs in case they meet them because they've owned the Knicks this year. But, so Doc, this is all going to make sense for people. If Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and Evan Mobley are ruled out for tonight's game, you can go ahead and cut them and go pick up these Pelicans that we're talking about. Do you agree with me that there is a 0% chance that Mobley, Garland, and Mitchell play in Sunday's game?
I totally agree with that. I'd be shocked if they played in that game.
The OKC guys have been ruled out tonight as well. I think Shea and these guys are done ski for the regular season. So, guys, do what you got to do here. Again, and if you know, Andre, can you help me out? I read this morning, but it's kind of drifting. There you go. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein, all out tonight. And I can guarantee you that they're not going to play on Sunday. Dort is out as well, okay? So OKC's going Ousmane Dieng against the world here over the weekend. Ousmane Dieng might be a good little pickup, by the way, Doc, but But get in on these Pelicans players. Doc just read them all off. And I'm going to have us rank these guys here in just a second, because I really think the Pelicans are going to come to the rescue for a lot of people that have, these badass players that have been helping you get to the altar of a championship here. But now you're going to have to go deep on the waiver wire. And that, trust me, don't, I got to go to the waiver wire to win my championship. Have you played fantasy basketball? Right? You have to do it every year. Doc, in the NFL, fantasy football, do you not have to get that hot backup running back that takes over for a guy that gets injured and bam, like your boy Zach Charbonnet for Seattle last year, right? When Kenny Walker is out, Charbonnet goes crazy, right? So there's no whining about this. You want to close the deal on fantasy baseball championships, guess what? You're picking up Sean frickin' Burke in September, right? And getting 3 little cute little starts from one of their hot prospects, right? You got that. If you don't work the waiver wire, you won't win a championship. Bottom line, no matter what sport you're playing. So no whining about it. Just get to work. Roll up your sleeves. Pull up your bootstraps, Doc, and go look at the Pelicans. So talk to me, dude. I mean, are you agreeing with the pivot off of the Thunder and the Cavs guys? And again, have they what? Usman Jang's out with an injury? I've lost track. I no longer have my finger on the pulse of Usman Jang's career. This is not good.
So would you rather have Isaiah Joe, who plays for the Thunder, or would you rather have one of those Pelicans? I mean, do the Thunder starters play on Sunday, or are they off that game too, you think?
I think there's a zero. Dude, if Mark Daigneault plays SGA on Sunday and he turns an ankle,
yeah,
it's gonna be fire Daigneault in whatever arena they are, and it's gonna not fire Nico. It's gonna be fire Dags. Okay, like the whole world's gonna crash down on him. But you know how safe and cautious and annoyingly protective teams are with players during the 1 through 82. But now that we get to the last day of the regular season on a team that the only thing in front of them is winning a championship, there's no way those guys play on Sunday. No way.
So you would drop SGA?
It's tough.
The Thunder have not been they've not been doing. Now remember when the Thunder used to tank like the whole season and like Shea would be done after like December, but now they play every night. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if I could cut Shea knowing that my opponent might pick him up and play him on Sunday.
Here's the good news, and Doc, you've been saying this. Everybody plays on Friday. Everybody plays on Sunday. So you may be able to field a lineup, PG, SG, G, SF, PFF, center, UU, or whatever your league is. Usually that's about the setup, right? You're probably going to be able to fill all of those spots and then just put Shea Gilgeous-Alexander on your bench, because he's probably not going to be like INJ or whatever. Maybe IL plus, you could move him to. But I think that's the way to go here. If it was 8 games tonight, 8 games on Saturday, 8 games on Sunday, it'd be different, Doc. But with all 30 teams playing today and all 30 teams playing on Sunday, you're probably going to be able to just drop SGA down to that bench spot and not play these reindeer games. But you're probably not going to be able to activate him for either of these last 2 games. I think that's the way you go with this. And Donovan Mitchell, has Donovan Mitchell even been that great? I mean, these lines that we're talking about from these Pelicans players look a lot like some of Donovan Mitchell's recent stat lines, right? So you can go ahead and drop Donovan Mitchell, but SGA is just too good. Andre's asking, is the MVP still on the line? I don't believe it is, man. I don't believe it is. It isn't for me. Doc, I've had, on the Sports Ethos NBA show with Rick Kamla, I have guests on every week. Every week I ask somebody, who's your MVP? Every single time the answer has been Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. All right. The straw poll that ESPN does, it's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. He is winning this award. Look at the betting board. It's the odds are very much in his favor, which is a direct indication of who's going to win.
It's very interesting because, in my opinion, it's Shea, and there's not a question. But I talked to Soren, and he's like, "Dude, look at Jokic's numbers." And you watch TV, and the ESPN guys are like, "Jokic, Jokic, Jokic. Just give this guy the MVP every year." Because his numbers are stupid. He's the only player in history to average what he's averaging, I believe. Um, so it might be closer than we think it's going to be, but based on what Vegas is saying, and based on the fact that Oklahoma City's the best team in the league, I think it has to be Shea.
I mean, look, guys, I think Michael Malone getting fired, which may, and I actually think probably does trail back to Jokic. To me, that's a hit. To me, that is, you got the pros, you got the cons. That's a con. They're 18 games behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. Denver has 48 wins. OKC has 66 wins. Stop the music, man. Stop the music. Stop the madness. Stop the insanity. It's over. Vince Carter style. SGA leads the league in scoring. His stat line's incredible. And I get it. Yes, Jokic is going to be the first player in NBA history to be top 3 in points, rebounds, steals, and assists, or whatever that stat is. Only guy ever to do that. I get it. He's averaging a triple-double. It's absolutely amazing. And somebody else is having a better year. It's like JB Bickerstaff, Doc. JB Bickerstaff, 9 out of 10 NBA seasons, is your walk-away coach of the year. Not even a debate. Well, sorry. Kenny Atkinson and the Cleveland Cavaliers have won 63 games. Okay? They started, 15-0? He won the award then. This award's been over all year. And I know JB's made a good run at it, but it sucks. Normally, JB Bickerstaff would be your coach of the year. Normally, Jokic would be the MVP. But you have what SGA and OKC are doing, and you have what Cleveland is doing, and that trumps it. Because, Doc, winning should matter. Winning should matter, and I hope the voters go that way.
It's 11:30 a.m. on the East Coast right now, so we haven't even gotten injury reports for Friday yet. The Thunder, everybody's resting. That means you got Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, Jalen Williams, Kenrick Williams,
Alex
Adam
Caruso.
Flagler is going to make some noise. Maybe AJ Mitchell, like just a bunch of guys you don't even know are on the team, right? Like Isaiah Joe and Jalen Williams might win people leagues between Friday and Sunday.
I'm looking. The Jalen Williams call. If you said give me one OKC player, I'm taking Jalen Williams. Who the guy had triple doubles, dude. Like when OKC would have these like very very infrequent rest games. Jalen Williams, Andre, how about did he have 2 triple doubles during the season in those line change rest games for OKC? It was at least 1. I want to say he had 2. He's like the hub of their offense, dude. When they don't play with all these guys. Aaron Wiggins should pop off for like 25 points in these types of games. Caruso had a nutty game the other night. I think he had 5 steals or something like that. So, maybe
then he missed the next one. Or are Caruso and Wallace playing? Do we know?
I don't know that right now, but
we didn't research.
Kaysen Wallace. I think Kaysen's got an injury right now.
Yeah, we didn't research Oklahoma City because we weren't going to talk about them, but here we are. We're going a deep dive into the Thunder.
Well, you and Brew this afternoon at 12:30 will. This is a recap show of Thursday night, but it's blended, and it's all good. It's fantasy content. We're trying to help you guys win here. So let's stack these Pelicans players here real quick, Doc. Brooks last night, the guy that I touted, 20 points, 6 boards, 4 threes. He's been 10 plus points in 6 of 8 games. Elfrid Payton, Doc, had 15 assists last night. If you're heading into the weekend, Doc, and you're down 10 assists, right? Elfrid Payton's a guy, and like maybe it's 5-4 him, right? And he's beating you in assists by 10. And maybe some of the other categories are kind of like settled. Well, you got to win assists. Go get Elfrid Payton. He'll be a huge difference maker for you, man. 15 assists last night. Reeves, you gave his stat line. Makovich, you gave his stat line. So we got 6 guys, 6 Pelicans, Doc. Rank those 6 guys.
I don't know if I have 6. Oh, yeah, I think I do. I'm going to go with your guy, Keon Brooks, first. And then I'm going Matkovich, even though I don't trust him. I like to, if you need a big man, you go Matkovich. But he's bigger than all those guys. He's a big man. All these other guys are smaller. But I'd go Keon Matkovich, then Antonio Reeves, then Quinones, and then Jamal Cain. I don't know if I did that. That might only be 5. You probably got one more.
Give me your ranking again because I want to compare it to mine.
Keon Brooks, Matkovich, Antonio Reeves, Quinones, and Jamal Cain.
And then okay, you left out Peyton, but that's fine.
Yeah, he would be last. He would be last on my list.
He's okay. So I've got Reeves first, and then Brooks. So Reeves and Brooks are your top pickups here. You can go Brooks, you can go Reeves, but they have risen to the top. That's why I wanted us to rank this so we can kind of help you guys out. And then Matkovich, and then Quinones is fourth, but you may not get that far, may not need to. You had Reeves third, you had Brooks 1. So Brooks is first. You guys, it depends on what you need here, okay? Because Reeves is going to do more guard stuff. Brooks is going to do more forward stuff. Matkovich is going to do more center stuff. So depending on the stats you need, but that's your 3-pack right there. Brooks, Matkovich, and Reeves from the Pelicans. And we are moving on. Doc, let's talk about the Cavaliers a little bit here. I was right. Jalen Williams had 2 triple-doubles, Doc. 19, 17, and 11, and then 10, 11, and 11 in those 2 kind of shutdown games for OKC. I really like Jalen Williams this weekend, and you and Brew will be talking about more about him later. Craig Porter Jr. and Sam Merrill, Doc, I think need a long look from people right now. Craig Porter Jr., 16, 3, and 3 with a 3, no defense. That was a weird, empty-ish stat line. He's usually better than that when he gets minutes, and I presume he'll build on that over the weekend. Sam Merrill, 15, 3, and 4, 1 block, 1 steal, 5 threes. Ty Jerome's not going to play tonight. I don't know. Maybe they shut down DeAndre Hunter tonight too. But I think Craig Porter Jr. and Sam Merrill are going to have themselves quite the weekend, Doc.
Hopefully they play them. And if they're resting all their stars, they need to play. They need to play those guys. And with Ty Jerome, Andre, can you verify that Ty Jerome is doubtful for tonight? Or Rick, did you see that too? Were you already on that? Or was that?
Yeah, he is.
He is doubtful.
Yep.
So that means your boy Porter, Brewski's been waiting for Craig Porter all year. And guess what? Friday night's the night, baby. Like, he could go for 30 and 15.
Dude, Craig Porter Jr. is talented. That's why our boy Brew likes him. Dude, Cleveland is grossly deep. Grossly deep. Oklahoma City is grossly deep. There's a reason they're in the 60s in their win total, dude. They can rest guys, move guys in. They're 3 layers deep, man. Dude, what's your boy's name? Amani Bates can play. He never finds the floor with this team, right? Dude, they got 3rd unit guys with the Cleveland Cavaliers that can play. And never, ever, ever forget my boy Usman Jang with OKC. Doc, what are you making of Zach Risaché's game last night, man? No Magic Man love from either of us. 38 points, 15 of 20 from the field, made 6 threes. Atlanta plays tonight. Atlanta plays on Sunday. Atlanta's still kind of, sort of in this thing with Orlando to move up to 7. How you feeling about Risaché over the weekend?
Dude, the last time he went off was 3 weeks ago. He had 36 and 10 or something crazy, like 6 threes. And then it was garbage for the next 8 games. And then boom. After I dogged him yesterday and said I'm done with Risaché, I'm done with Risaché, but I'm into Reese Beekman. Well, that kind of backfired on me. Reese Beekman started. Ooh. He started, dude. He was on his way, and he played 13 minutes. So whatever. He's a net. So I apologize to anybody who went with my hunch and rolled with Reese Beekman yesterday. That's my bad.
We don't get them all right.
But he started. Him and Vince Williams started, and they didn't work out. But Risaché was great last night.
Play the point prop under on Risaché in tonight's game. You're welcome. Play the point prop under on I don't know what it is. I'm gonna look it up right now, Doc.
You
Again,
said good luck to me and Brewski trying to break this Friday, Saturday stuff down in the next show because it is literally a minefield of unknowns garbage. And Ricochet might play Friday and Sunday and go nuts. He may suck on Friday and sit on Sunday. I mean, we just don't know.
14 and a half, Doc. I'm going under. I'm going under on 14 and a half on Ricochet, which is a very gettable number. But the trend, my pattern, my method matters more than the number. I will go under on 14 and a half.
I'm not messing with Zach tonight.
You got to fade him, man. He made 15 of 20 shots, dude. That's 75%. That's some DeAndre Jordan back in the Clippers days stuff, man. No, you got to fade him tonight, y'all. Doc, so Jalen Brunson picked up another ankle injury last night, Doc. Miles McBride is looking like a guy. Like, I'm kind of sort of anticipating Jalen Brunson to be ruled out tonight and Sunday because New York's not in the play-in tournament. Then they would give Brunson the weekend plus 5 days next week in advance of game one of the playoffs. I don't think he returned to the game last night after turning his left ankle and didn't play all that well. The Knicks took a loss, as we know. I would be surprised if Jalen Brunson plays. And I know they're only a game up on Indiana, but if Cleveland rests guys tonight, New York at home can beat Cleveland without Jalen Brunson. And then New York on Sundays at Brooklyn. Okay, they don't need Brunson to go into Brooklyn and beat the Nets right now. So I would be surprised if Brunson plays this weekend. I really would. And Miles McBride, I mean, close your eyes. He shot 5 of 18 last night, but he had 4 steals. He had 2 threes, and he's got pop ability. So I think McBride's a guy that people really need to look at here.
I totally agree with that. It's important to these teams to get to the playoff spot that they want to get to, but it's not as important as going into that spot healthy. So I think the Knicks would rather just take the L's and have Jalen sitting and getting healthy for the playoffs than get him out there, playing when he shouldn't be playing, trying to win a game that's simply going to get you a different opponent, maybe. So I think Miles McBride is somebody you definitely need to look at. And then DeLon Wright could end up starting because McBride started with Brunson last night. If Brunson's out, then I think DeLon Wright becomes the starter. Muted.
Here's a random thought bubble that matters for fantasy. Do you think the Knicks would rather be in the 3-hole where if you win your first round playoff series, you play the winner of the 2-7 game? That's Boston. Do you think the Knicks would rather be in the 3-6, 2-7 cluster where you play Boston in round 2, or would they rather be in the 4-5, 1-8 cluster where you would presumably play Cleveland in round 2? Like, does New York play those reindeer games and take a couple of L's here over the weekend, give the 3 seed to Indiana and say, have fun with Boston in round 2, ha, 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 because we think that we can beat Cleveland because they don't have experience, blah, blah, blah. I think Cleveland's going to woodshed the New York Knicks in the playoffs if they play. I'm being strong with, I shouldn't say woodshed. I think they will beat the Knicks. I'll just say it like that. And I'm very confident in that. Cleveland clearly better than the New York Knicks this year. To me, it's not a debate. But I don't know. Maybe like Tibbs is like, yo, I don't want to play the champs in round 2. I'd rather take my chances with, the upstart Cleveland Cavaliers. So look alive for that. New York may just pull everybody out and give the 3 seed to Indiana, or maybe that's just a completely nutty thought from your boy. I don't know. You tell me.
My voice is going, man. Can Andre pull up the head-to-head records of the Knicks versus the Celtics and the Cavaliers? I'd be curious.
I think the Knicks have a bagel against those teams this year. Wait a minute.
Either one of them.
Wait a minute. I think Cleveland is undefeated against New York this year, and I think maybe they split with Boston. Or maybe it's the other way around. I don't know, Doc. I can't remember. I know that the Knicks, there's a narrative, and it's legit, they are like winless, or against Cleveland, OKC, and like the top teams in the league, like they like never win. The Knicks are kind of fraudulent, Doc. The Knicks are kind of fraudulent. They're not. They're a quasi big boy. They're not one of the true big boys. Boston, Cleveland, OKC. Like Cleveland's 3-0 against the Knicks this year, and again they played tonight. Like, is Houston a big boy? I can't call them a big boy, Doc. They're not a big boy. They haven't been to the playoffs yet with this group. And I know they're number 2 in the West, but they're not a big boy. The Lakers are a big boy.
Well, remember last year, Minnesota was like at the top of the West for half the season, and they were still pretty high at the end, but no one considered them a big boy. They just weren't.
Right.
And Houston's the number 2 seed in the West. Oh, wow. 0-7 against the Cavs and Knicks. So
it's like
they probably
that.
don't care which one they play. It's not good news either way.
It's like that, dude. But
like if they're going to beat either one of those teams, they need Jalen Brunson healthy. So I think he's done for the weekend. Is it back to our point? And you know, the reason that the Knicks are not a big boy is they don't have a bench. They have no bench whatsoever.
That's it.
And if they had a bench, Thibodeau wouldn't use it. So it's just, and you know, it's a lot of these teams. If a guy goes down, you go to your bench and you've got a good player. If Halliburton goes down, you bring in TJ McConnell. If the Knicks lose one of their guys, they're bringing in Precious Achiuwa, which is not a big boy.
Totally agree, dude. Totally agree. It would be off brand for Tibbs to punt games, to fall in the standings and orchestrate a better second round matchup, but don't rule it out. Don't rule it out. Let's get to some drops, Doc. I want to shout at the Raptors here for a minute. They dropped our boy O-Rob, dude. They waived O-Rob. And I know, like, this is a recap show off of Thursday night in Toronto. Did they play on Thursday night? I don't even remember right now. But O-Rob was dropped. They waived him. What the hell, dude? Oh, Castleton. They love Castleton. He's their new shiny toy right now. He had 14 rebounds the other night. Anyway, I wanted to complain about that. Vince Williams, to me, is a drop. Played 18 minutes last night. Get him out of there. Who else? I've got Mitchell, Garland, and Mobley written down here. But again, don't drop them. Oh my God. Andre just said Castleton is with the Sixers.
His 2 10-days ran out with Toronto. Now he's a Sixer.
Oh my God. Wait a minute. It's Mobo season. That's what this means. It's Mobo. That's it. We don't have to worry about Castleton. He's with the Sixers. It's a Mobo thing. Oh my God. Keeping up with this league, man.
I'm sitting over here going, I thought Castleton was with the Sixers now. Is he back with Toronto? Nobody knows.
Nobody goes deeper than Kamla and Doc and Brewski on the Fantasy NBA today. We're solving Castleton problems around here. My God. Doc, quickly on the Jared Allen thing, and I'll get it over to you for some drops. Jared Allen is going to play in these final 2 games. And you're like, what are you talking about, dude? He's played 80 games. Okay, so why did Jared Allen play 16 minutes last night? Because I'm looking through the box score and I'm like, I know exactly why he only played 16 minutes. I bet Jared Allen is trying to have a perfect season with attendance. And I looked at basketballreference.com and I saw 80 on his game played. He wants to play 82 games. And you know what? I think that fucking rocks. Guys should want to play 82 games. So Jared Allen is going to play the last 2 games, but he's not going to factor very much because he's going to play very little time. But I do appreciate availability. It's like my favorite thing in the NBA right now is guys that want to play as opposed to making $550,000 for not playing. Anyway, Doc, give me some drops after last night.
Since we're talking about guys who don't miss games, I watched Isaiah Thomas interview Karl Malone the other day. And I Googled Karl Malone. In 18 seasons, 18 years, he missed 39 games total. And almost all of those came in one season when he hurt his knee against the Suns.
Yes, and look at Stockton. Same thing. Like it's the stats are very similar. Like 82, 82, 82, 82. There was one year where he missed a bunch of games, and that's like the only bad year of attendance, if my
It's
memory
mind
serves.
blowing. It's
Mind
mind
blowing.
blowing how many times Malone played 82 games. Uh, I had Vince Williams on the list. I've got Reese Beekman on the list of drop. The DirecTV guy was here right before the show. I like literally pushed him out the door and came up here to do this, so I didn't get to dive deep here. But guys, Jared Allen, I think, is a drop, like you said. I had him on my fallers. He's going to play 15 minutes Friday, 15 minutes Sunday. Brooke Lopez, 3 points last night, dude. You said he was falling. You kind
The
of
Portis thing. Bobby BP being back is bad news for Brolo.
Yeah. I mean, Brolo should be better than 3 points. Brolo's going to bounce back on Friday, but he was terrible last night. And then our guy, Jaden McDaniels, man, drop him and get somebody who has a pulse.
He's
Oklahoma City, New Orleans, Brooklyn, like scour those waiver wires and I'd drop Jaden for Matkovich.
I would rather drop Jaden for a guy like Reeves, but yeah, I'm smelling what you're cooking. I'm not mad at that. Ryan Rollins is a drop, guys. Last night, 19 minutes, 12 points, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 threes. Kevin Porter Jr. is coming off the bench, but he has grabbed control of that position. So Ryan Rollins, you can send him back to waivers. He's not helping you right now. The Hawks bench mob, I talked about this. Krejci and Mann and Niang and LeVert, send them all to waivers. If you haven't already, like if you've been listening to me, you already have done that, but they're just not worthy of your roster right now. There's so many better options out there. So Doc, let's get to the risers here. And I want to hit you with Ja Morant. Ja Morant has been sensational since he got Taylor Jenkins whacked. Okay. 36 points in 36 minutes, 6 assists, 5 threes. He's been 30-plus points in 3 of his last 4. I mean, if you're going to make gangster moves like getting your coach fired and boycotting him for 2 weeks and then coming back in the very next game after you get him whacked, you better fucking ball out. And Ja Morant's balling out, dude. So I got to give him that, dude. These stat lines are amazing. How about, have you noticed, this is like the best 3-ball action that we've ever seen from Ja Morant, dude. He is killing it from the 3 line right now, and a lot of volume too.
Well, I think he's also fired up about getting in trouble every time he does anything with the league. He's like, I don't care no more. Yeah, and he's just he's throwing grenades.
Did you see Dirk Nowitzki and Taylor Rooks on Twitter? What they were watching the Dallas and Laker game together, and they were imitating some of the Ja Morant moves with their grenade and with like the gun.
They're like gunners on a fighter jet.
That cracked me up, man. That cracked me up. Dirk.
Hail gunners.
I love Dirk Nowitzki, dude. I miss Dirk.
You know, dude, that's
the Iron Lake fadeaway, dude. The way he shot the rock with the high. God dang, I love Dirk Nowitzki, dude. I miss watching him play, dude.
And the thing about Memphis, the thing about Ja Morant going off, the fact that Scottie Pippen has been able to make a little bit of noise while Ja is on the heater of his life says a lot about Scottie Pippen and how good he is. Like, normally, if Ja was doing that, the guy behind him, you would never see him. But Pippen is doing stuff when Ja's not in the game. Now, Memphis is one of those teams that's in the middle of that 5-game bonanza where they're all fighting for position. It's more like 6 teams. So I doubt that Ja takes this weekend off, Friday or Sunday. No,
dude, he's going to be blasting off in both of these games.
Literally.
Literally. Guys, so the Lakers are in 3rd place, and they're a game up on the cluster of Denver, Clippers, Warriors, Grizzlies, Wolves. 4 through 8 is all separated by 1 game, and these teams are bloodthirsty to avoid the play-in tournament. Doc, risers. Guys on the Bucks, guys on the Pistons. We know that they play against each other Friday and Sunday. Yes, Bucks and Pistons in a fight for 5th place play twice over the weekend. If the Pistons win tonight, then Sunday's game is going to matter. If the Bucks win tonight, then Sunday's game is not going to matter, and you're going to have a lot of rest from these teams. Look alive on that. Jalen Duren is rolling right now, Doc. 16, 13, and 2 with a block and a steal last night, and Tobias Harris got back to work. I'll start the Fallers segment, Doc, with one guy, and I'll send it over to you. Shaedon Sharpe. We love Shaedon Sharpe. Shaedon Sharpe should be blasting off here on Friday and Sunday, but I fear he will not, Doc, because he's ended up on the injury report as questionable for tonight's game. And so maybe I shouldn't be talking about him because this is a recap show. So maybe that was a stupid take. But look alive on Shaedon Sharpe because we've been singing his praises, and he's been a badass lately, but he might be shut down by the shutdowny Portland Trailblazers, who, thank you, they put their tank off until like the last 5 days of the regular season. And we appreciate that out here in fantasy land.
I don't have a faller. I blew my fallers list on the drop segment because I didn't have time to put the drop segment together. But I would say fallers. Every team in the league has 2 games left. But a lot of teams only have 1 or no games left because they've clinched everything they need to clinch, and it doesn't matter. And now we have to be healthy for the playoffs. So the Oklahoma City starters, we already know they're down to 1 game, maybe 0 games. Those are fallers. The Houston Rockets starters, nothing to play for. Maybe all those guys play 1 game. Maybe they play tonight, and then they're going to rest on Sunday. Then it's the Lakers, Nuggets, Clippers, Warriors, Grizzlies, Wolves. I think all of them are at least going to play everybody tonight. And then you have to reassess everything Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, and make your moves accordingly because some of those teams are going to rise, some are going to fall. But then you've got the teams that have nothing left to play for. Phoenix Suns, Portland Trailblazers, San Antonio Spurs, New Orleans Pelicans, Utah Jazz. Anybody who plays on any of those teams, you got to consider them having maybe 1 game left. Certainly not 2. And then the same thing in the East. Toronto, Brooklyn, Philly, Charlotte, Washington, they're all out. Who knows who those teams are going to roll out there. The Sixers may still be trying harder to lose games than these teams are trying to win that are on the bubble for the play-in. But then the Cavaliers and the Celtics, there's no way Cavs and Celtics guys play 2 games this weekend. So your Peyton Pritchard is a riser. Luke Cornett is almost a must-own player at this point. DeAndre Hunter, riser. Ty Jerome would be, but it sounds like he's out on Friday. Anyway, look at the standings while you're making these pickups and drops because that'll help you navigate it.
Great points, dude. I'll give you 2 others. Well, we talked about him. Yves Missi. I think Yves Missi's been shut down. So he's a faller. If you see that he's ruled out again tonight, then you will know definitively he's done for the year. I think the center spot is Makovich's for the rest of the year for these last 2 games. And then Osar Thompson, Doc. Osar Thompson was clicking at like a top 40 value. But that was without, pardon me?
Not last night. He wasn't.
Not last night. And the reason was Tobias Harris came back. Osar Thompson was giving us all the goodies, plus double-figure scoring in 7 straight games. He was living in the teens for 7 straight games. Tobias Harris comes back last night. He goes down to 3 points. Not a coincidence, okay? I love me some Osar Thompson, but now that Harris is back, and now that Cade is back, you've got THJ, you've got Beasley. There's just not a lot of scoring opportunity for Osar, who is basically their sick'em defender, and that's not good for fantasy basketball. Do you drop Brunson, Andre is asking, and so we've got a minute left. Let's call it 45 left.
That was me. I'm just looking for a yes or a no.
Again, if I'm waiting to see if he's ruled out for tonight because he's a gamer, he's a stud, he's a tough guy. He might play tonight, but if he's ruled out, then I know he's not going to play on Sunday. So I'm going to wait and find out if he's ruled out before I cut him. But I'm planning on cutting him, yes.
All right, get us out of here for the last time this season.
My boy, we wrap up the regular season, me and Doc. He and Brew will be on at 12:30. Next time you see me will be Monday at 10 a.m. with the WNBA show. I'm pumped about it, man. Check me out, 10 a.m. Eastern time on Monday. Download the Sports Ethos app. It's completely free. Go to your favorite app store and take care of that. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Sports Ethos, and subscribe to the Fantasy NBA Today YouTube channel as well. For Doc, for Andre, it's been an amazing year. We love you all. I'm Rick Kamla. We'll see you soon.